In today's video, we will be discussing how to prepare and give a presentation. These tips come from personal experience and has been useful in several occasions, whether one has been working on their project for weeks or if they just received a crunch time of mere hours to present. In this first part, we will be focusing on the prep work. Some may have ideas of their own, but those who are quote-unquote flying blind, here are 3 steps that will help you save time, energy, and stress. The first step is overall communication. When receiving the assignment, there is additional information that will be given by the instructor. It is to ensure no mistakes are made or can be corrected without affecting your grade. This does not mean that you shouldn't ask questions if you feel lost or overwhelmed. One question you can ask is if you can choose a different topic or subject. Based on the instructions given, you may have something in mind that is unique or relatable to your peers, and therefore stand out amongst the class. Let's face it, the prep stage of any project is boring, but not if it's something that piques your interest or curiosity. After all, the best discoveries come from just asking a question. Another that you should be asking is if note cards can be used during your speech. Normally, this would be a forbidden item since instructors want you to say your words with confidence. But not everyone has developed nerves of steel through endless practice, or those who have mild to severe anxiety. If this option is not available, there are other ways to combat this problem, one of which I will be giving later in the video. Another very important question to put out there is if there is a time limit. Please keep this in mind when making your PowerPoint or your outline. If this rule is not immediately mentioned in the briefing, ask this anyway to be sure there isn't one. Many students lose easy points from assuming. Something you also need to ask, if not offered on a syllabus in the first week of class, is the instructor's availability and contact information. Make sure to find out if they have an email they can check frequently or a number that they can be reached at. Sometimes a face-to-face meeting may be necessary. However you choose, keep all forms of communication open between yourself and your instructor. The next step you should think about utilizing is visual aids. Over the years, I've seen so many presentations crash and burn by making the mistake of putting full paragraphs on each slide. If you don't have something in between to break up the little black letters, you'll lose your audience in the first minute, because most likely they've tuned you out and are waiting for the cue to clap. Therefore, having visual aids throughout your PowerPoint or displaying props can help with keeping the room invested in what you have to say. Image association is also one of the solutions I had hinted earlier if you can't have note cards. You'll know what to say next from the one picture you chose to help you remember, thus decreasing your anxiety. But as fun as they are to incorporate, images can also be misused. There are some people who go a little overboard to where the main topic gets buried. We don't want to blind people with all that GIF and color. Remember, you only have one time to make a good impression. When you just shove a bunch of pixels onto a slide, it gives the message that the speaker has no knowledge of the topic they're presenting. Not too long ago, this narrator had to do an informative speech about the Louisianan culture in under 8 minutes. So how did I walk away with an A? My visual aids stem from the activities I had done and different places I went to. And because I had made additional discoveries, I included props of items that could be found in the French Quarter, as well as note cards with facts that people might find interesting. These actions allow my audience to be immersed with my presentation. Now, when choosing your visual aids, there should be images no more than either 4 small, 2 medium, or 1 large displayed on each slide, excluding the final one reserved for your works cited. When looking for visuals online, type in the words royalty-free after the name during every web search. You can also incorporate only 1 large image on your title slide if you wish. But if you're using a copyrighted image, Make sure to give credit by having the citation visible on the slide. The final step in preparing for your presentation is have a backup plan. This is very necessary, as I'm sure that there are moments where your laptop crashed the night before or chooses that day to update, and you're supposed to present next. If that hasn't happened to you, why take chances? Now, it doesn't mean that having the project on any of your electronic devices is not smart, especially on the go. But to ensure it will make it to presentation day, think outside the box. Consider having it on a USB flash drive and find the time to test them to see if they will work on the school computer at least a week before your turn, so you can fix any issues that might arise. Also, send your final work through your email, or if allowed, send it to your instructor. This ensures that if you lose your flash drive or get it wet, you're not, as I mentioned earlier, flying blind. So let's review. While preparing for the presentation, it is vital to remain in constant communication with your instructor. Know their availability. Send emails. Set up a time with them if you have to, but never stop asking questions. Make sure you add visual aids to your slides that relate to your speech. And remember to have images limited to 4 if they're small, 2 if they're medium, or 1 if they're large. Once finished with your work, have it backed up and not just on the computer. Save it onto a USB and check it to see if it's compatible with other computers. Also, send the file to yourself through email. Thanks for watching part 1 of how to prepare and give a presentation.